Tyman. This is Harold Bixby here for one more week, I guess.
I think I'm going to be sticking in for the remainder of my adult life. And listen up, Wallingford. There is nothing wrong with your television. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. Joe Tyman is now in control of the transmission. This is Tyman On Tap.
So I heard you were getting a pedicure this past weekend. How did that go for you?
Well, they grinded in those nails, and they found some shocking results.
I heard you have some tickets to an upcoming Paul McCartney concert.
Yes, I'm going to be seeing Paul McCartney in Israel, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, he's playing for the Archduke of Israel, or whoever's running the show over there.
Any songs that you really want to hear?
Definitely Love Take Me Down to the Streets.
You know, that song is amazing because, I'm not a really big solo Paul McCartney fan, but that's better than any of his Beatles work.
That is a Wings song.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. Wings is solo Paul McCartney. I mean, I guess not really, but it still is. Paul McCartney and Wings.
If you think Wings tops Paul McCartney's work with the Beatles, you call in right now at 203-265-6310. That's not Joe's opinion, I know.
All I said was Love to Be Down the Streets. It was, hands down, his best written song.
We're going to spark things up. What do we got up first today?
I don't know if you knew, this week was a Worldwide Developers Conference in good old San Francisco.
Get out of town.
Yeah, I heard that you were in San Francisco a couple months ago.
You heard wrong. You're hearing a lot of stuff about me, considering I'm way off the grid, not online.
I don't know. This revolution is televised.
Fair enough. So what happened at this conference?
So it was the first one in post-Steve Jobs. For people that don't know, Worldwide Developers Conference is the conference for Apple developers, for Macintosh developers, for iOS developers, for any other products that they develop. I think that iOS and Mac is the only two things you can develop for an Apple right now. I think they're pretty much out of the printer business. But I do know that you really, in 1989, you had a really nice Apple printer.
I threw it in the garbage, though, because it wasn't that one of the ones you had to just scroll on the side?
Yeah.
You had that punch paper?
Yeah, the punch paper is like...
What was the purpose of that?
So you can keep going with a continuous flow of paper.
Oh, that's what I've always wanted out of my printers.
You can still use it in today's printers if you want it.
I don't plan on it.
You should. So it was the first one post-Steve Jobs. It was the first one with...
So was there a stunning tribute to the man?
No, because I think they're kind of all out of...
They're all out of mourning?
All out of love. So lost without him.
You always like to slip in some 80s ballad type song. Hall & Oates and now Air Supply.
Air Supply. But yeah, so this is a big deal. It's people are wondering what they're going to do. People are wondering what was going to happen. They should have a bunch of new stuff.
Joe, breaking news. You got to talk up. You got to speak up.
Who's telling me that?
One of our viewers from Wallingford just contacted the studio. Said you need to speak up.
I will speak up. And speaking of bands that we also think are great, I need to rise up with the Inspiration, playing this year at Vibes.
One of Franklin Pierce's finest bands that most people in Wallingford have no
anybody that's been to Vibes has heard that band.
Anyone that's been to Vibes has heard some very mystical things after the 3 days.
And potentially have been stabbed. There's a lot of stabbings at Vibes.
It's a violent place for a Grateful Dead-inspired concert.
Yes.
Seaside Park.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
It's a pretty bad place.
It's pretty bad year-round.
But, so getting back from that.
Swing back on task.
So it was the first one. They had a bunch of new products, a bunch of cool new stuff, and I really want to get into it. But it's interesting to see that now with Tim Cook, the post-Steve Jobs era, and this is the first big conference since then. I mean, they've had a couple media events in the meantime since Steve Jobs passed away, but this is the first one, first interaction with Apple community. It's really the biggest conference of the year. They used to be at Macworld, but they stopped going to that. They also, in the summertime, they usually have a conference or press event for the iPhone, and in the fall they'll have, or the late fall, winter, sometime after that, they'll have a conference for the new iPad, and that's usually how their schedule's been working for the past couple of years.
I was listening to Jerry Pepperdine's podcast the other day, and he said that there's some exciting new Mac products coming out.
Yes, first one, iOS 6. So big development in iOS. Probably the biggest thing for iOS since going from iOS, when it's still the iPhone OS, from 1 to 2 with the introduction of the App Store. They're replacing Google Maps.
What's wrong with Google Maps?
This one is going to have turn-by-turn directions. It's going to have more features. It's going to be awesomer.
Awesomer, huh?
Awesomer.
Whoa.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
And you're going to have quick response to phone calls, so you slide up, and it has a bunch of list things that you can click instead of hitting accept or decline.
And is it going to have any high-def camera work?
No, the camera hasn't changed. It's still the same. It's a software thing.
Oh, okay.
But there's a bunch of cool stuff with it.
I hear they're finally responding to complaints people had about the privacy settings on the previous models. You're going to actually be able to say whether or not you want to give your personal data to third-party developers and apps.
It was just interesting because they're also integrating Facebook, like they've integrated Twitter into the iOS.
Which are ways that people voluntarily give away personal details of their lives every day.
Every day they're hustling. So it's really exciting. It's really a big development. The fact that they're going away from...
Producer says stop with the musical references, please.
It seems that Will Rutsky is really against good times. He's just a miserable old curmudgeon. We're going to keep making musical references day in and day out.
Because we're not going to stop believing.
We are not going to ever talk about Journey, though.
Journey's coming to Atlantic City?
They're going to be squeezing and touching you and making you uncomfortable with their loving.
Loving spoonful?
Settle down with the 1960s at least, Joe. We'll make a concession to the producer. So let's talk more about these Mac features.
Well,
What's really going to just get me into the store and switch from Dell? Because you know how I love Dell.
Well, let's continuing with the OS. The new Mac OS Mountain Lion is coming out this summer for $20.
Is Mountain Lion coming out this summer?
Yeah. Wow.
Get into that a little bit more.
Wow.
Some of us don't know what you're talking about.
The new operating system, everybody's known since OS X came out.
Everybody. Anyone that's important.
OS X, since this came out, they've always used big cats as their kind of theme.
That's fantastic.
And this year's update is called Mountain Lion. And for $20, you can upgrade a whole slew of new features.
This cat is packed.
The Game Center, which is awesome if you had it for your iPad or iPhone.
Do you play Words with Friends?
You play Words with Friends and have on your Mac, probably.
No, what about Bejeweled?
Bejeweled, you can play 8 million different types of Bejeweled.
Our Wallingford audience loves Bejeweled.
They do.
I see it at every local coffee shop.
You know what? I was at a Bejeweled convention the past 2 weeks ago. And,
in connection with your work?
No, just I was at this feeling I need to go to a Bejeweled conference.
That's your hobby, huh?
I'm a big fan of the Bejeweled. You know, there's some interesting people in there, you know. I'm a big fan around the 65-year-old. But, yeah, so it's more Game Center features. There's going to be Facebook integration. There's going to be Twitter integration. There's going to be iOS-style banners. It's really combining the two, starting to combine the two, which, you know, technically iOS and macOS are the same operating system, but we're not going to get into shells and stuff like that this episode. Next week, we will get into OS and shells and scripting and all that fun stuff. But this week, we're going to talk about things it's bringing to you. So the whole notifications, the whole bringing it back to what people like about the iOS. How does this make you feel that your home computer is going to be more like your phone, your mobile device? What do you think about that?
I think the more we see that kind of technology, the more I'm going to be excited. You know, I am actually really looking forward to the Google Glasses. I'm sure you've heard about that, in which they have these glasses in which they basically operate as your mobile phone or device. It has GPS. It gives you information about traveling.
Do they have them in your
And
prescription?
it displays on your eyes. Well, I mean, they don't have them out yet. It's more of a conceptual thing, but check out YouTube. Search for Google Glasses or the Glass Project, and it's pretty fascinating. It's the more portable computer technology that comes out, the more I'm going to be switching to Apple products.
Well, speaking of Apple products, let's go into the hardware. Call in
203-265-6310. Do it up, Wallingford. Keep this man riveted with your questions. Keep him guessing. Keep him on the air.
Vote, like Andrew always says. Vote for Tyman On Tap.
That's right. Don't vote for those Kardashians. We don't want to see them on public access.
Yeah, I heard that they're going to take the time slot of a formerly popular public access show.
Something. Let's talk. Something. Let's talk tech. Who we got? You are live on Tyman On Tap.
Oh, yeah.
Who do we have here? One of the local Wallingford or Durham residents?
Oh, yeah, real local Wallingford Brotherhood.
The Wallingford Brotherhood's calling. What's your name, sir?
My name is Adam. What is yours? Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking with Harold Bigsby and...
Joe Ryman Timon.
Joe Ryman Timon. My God. What do we have on the plate tonight?
We are talking about the riveting developments in Mac products, and we have some startling reviews of the movie Prometheus coming up later.
Oh, you go dive and watch it yet. Don't give away anything.
All right, there won't be a detail or spoiler present. We will just shower it with our praise or criticism.
So, Adam, what's your favorite part of Wallingford?
What's my favorite part of Wallingford? Oh, of course, the east side of Choate.
The east side of Choate.
You just like one portion of Choate's campus, sir.
Yeah, not the whole thing, because, there's that weird part where it's just, dormitories and housing.
Yeah, where the people
That's more
dwell.
of
Is the east side where the science center is?
Very well could be. I have actually no clue what the east side actually is.
This gentleman is not a reliable source on the structures of Wallingford, I don't think.
I do prefer, though, the Farm Hill region, by Elm Street.
Oh, is that where you spent most of your time here in Wallingford?
A fair bit.
Is that where you do a little apple picking or going to the lovely Wallingford vineyard?
Oh, the Wallingford Vineyard, also known as the Taste of Wallingford.
Oh, I'm sure you've tasted Wallingford many times.
Which is coming up in a few months. You should remind
Yeah, everybody, make sure you go to a Taste of Wallingford. It's a lovely festival on Center Street in South Main. They have classic cars. They have delightful foods and ciders and things.
I wouldn't say delightful, but I would say very tasty.
It goes down smooth, you might say.
Oh, it goes down very smooth.
All right, Adam. Well, we have enjoyed your patronage to our wonderful Tyman program here.
If you had one thing to say to the town of Wallingford, what would it be, sir?
What would it be about Wallingford?
What thing to say to the town
If you
of
could
Wallingford?
leave Wallingford with your parting words of wisdom about the town, what would it be?
I see. You know what?
We put you on the spot, didn't we, Adam?
Put me on the spot, and I got nothing. Because Wallingford is the opposite of nothing. It is everything. And
That is
Wallingford
beautiful and touching and rich.
I'm in tears right now, by the way.
You can't tell
Sure you
by
are.
my wonderful prescription shades here, but I am really just welling up with tears. We might have to cut to a PSA soon.
No, we don't. We have 8 minutes.
I'm just getting tender, so.
Let's do it. Just cut to it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you later, sir. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll talk to me later. All right.
Hey, come on. We'll call you.
Call next week. We love having you.
Call once a week. Always cheer us up.
Oh, God. All right. Good night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Adam.
Adam.
He was a wonderful man.
Yeah. So okay, new
Who we got here?
That's
Who's
the ring
next?
back.
Oh, come on. I was so excited. So the Mac. Let's wrap that up. What do we got to say about it?
Okay, the Mac Pro. First time in a couple years they updated the Mac Pro line, which is a good sign that it shows that they're still committed to the desktop, even though all their sales are coming from handheld devices and their laptops.
So they still have pride in their PC line. Or laptop.
Oh, we got
That's
a
the
call.
real call, huh?
Hello.
It was not a ringback. You hung up on me.
I'm so sorry.
We get that a lot. Who is this?
This is Sparky.
How you doing?
Good, you?
Very good.
I have a thing to tell Dill Krudsky in the audience there.
Okay.
Free Amanda Bynes.
We have more support for Amanda Bynes, directed our producer, a longtime lover of Amanda Bynes. Thank you for calling in.
She was my lover. She was my friend.
That's too much. All right, so Will Krutsky, producer, you got that message about Amanda Bynes?
What's the message?
It's free her, because you're the one that's keeping her under wraps.
Free Amanda Bynes!
All right. I did say we were never going to bring up Amanda Bynes again, but
lied!
Wallingford has demanded.
I am the producer and I demand it.
Yeah,
Is this a ring back or is this a call?
who knows.
Hello? That is a ring back.
That's some stuff.
All right. So, anyways, back to the topics at hand. So, new MacBook Pro Mac Pro line, gonna update it again next year. So you might want to hold off unless you desperately need a new Mac desktop. But it's just really good to see that Apple still supports the high-end desktop users.
I'm happy to hear it because I was starting to think that they were, going by the wayside with that product.
It's really good. People love the iMacs, But there's something that's awesome about the nice full Mac tower that you can get. This is this big, powerful machine.
It is, and I did notice during my brief stint in graduate school that everyone had a MacBook Pro, it seemed.
Well, speaking of MacBook Pros, we're going to go talk about the next generation MacBook Pro. 15 inches, they got rid of the 17-inch screen. They're using the Retina display.
Why are they going down? I like my good size screen.
Nobody was buying 17-inch laptops.
They can't jam it in their backpack.
Yeah, it's like huge. Like, we have a laptop. It's a large pizza.
Ooh.
Large.
That's not a very appealing concept.
Yeah.
It's just a big old sloppy laptop.
Yeah.
Or notebook, because you don't put it in your lap or you'll fry your goods.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
I think we're allowed to say testicles on here, can't we?
You always test the limits of what is decent television, and I like that about you, Joe.
I have no fear, and I never surrender.
Your name is on the banner, so you're the one that sinks with the ship.
Nope. Actually, the producer's name's on the banner.
Oh, good, then forget about him. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
All right. Will Krutsky. All right, we're moving on to the next topic.
Well, let's talk about
we got more to say.
We're just going to talk about the new MacBook.
What's it going to do?
16 gigabytes of RAM, 512
Horsepower.
gigabyte solid-state drive, amazing crisp Retina display, HD. This is a ridiculously good display. So it's really the best of. This is the best laptop you get.
Tim Allen would be grunting up a storm over this product.
I don't think so, Tim.
Does everybody know what time it is, Joe?
Dual time.
All right, enough with the song, my friend.
You killed that song.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, it's just like it's only $2,000 or $2,199, and it's a very super awesome machine. I think that now Apple has formally put their foot on the throat of the high-end laptop market. They have the cheaper MacBook Airs and the regular MacBook Pros. So I really think right now it's really sad to say there's really no reason, unless you're in an environment where you need a PC.
Sound like you're going to say a war.
Whoa, if you're in a war, you need special computers.
Yes, you do.
But, so yeah, we really moved into an environment where the PC lost the laptop market. Like, it's gone. Like, who is getting excited now to go buy a Dell laptop if you're not a Fortune 500 company?
It turns out that the unseen two people in the studio audience are waving their hands frantically with joy because they still support Dell, and they've had enough of Mac, and they've been giving us a lot of thumbs down, which means there is a sizable audience out there that are always going to support the classics.
Yes.
Got 2 thumbs up for that, you might say.
Even though Apple is a much older company than Dell. But
old and brittle. They had their day.
their day is now!
Yeah.
We get very, very theatrical. We are in a improv group that meets every Saturday at...
It's called A Spice of Wallingford.
It's at old Jimmy Hops on South Center Street.
It's Jimmy Hops.
Yeah, Jimmy Hops.
Oh yeah, that's who that guy is?
Yeah.
He's always not Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hops.
Jimmy Hops. Okay, so moving on. I think you've had your piece on Mac, and I think you've sold it quite well, sir.
But you're a man of the people. Do you see people buy? Have you seen PC laptops these days anymore? Like, are they becoming dinosaurs?
I think PC is mainly going to be stocking businesses with towers, and you might be right that at least with the younger generation, you're mainly going to be seeing Mac from now on, at least for
Notebooks.
The notebooks, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. We're gonna go to a PSA about a minute early because I don't want to get into a topic and then go to a PSA.
You don't.
No. Yeah.
So hopefully we have one of our jazziest PSAs of all time.
I really hope it's the Halloween PSA.
Stop hassling me, producer, and get to a PSA.
Yeah, we're waiting for you.
We don't need your nonsense.
Where's my husband? Stop. How's she doing? 2,
She was a passenger. I was T-boned on the passenger side.
We just had some wine. I wasn't even drunk, I was just buzzed.
What? You were just buzzed. Well, sir, you didn't tell us that. In that case, she's just fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darts there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma. Happy Halloween.
From Wallingford and WPAA.
Yes, we are. Happy Halloween!
I was working in the lab late one night. My eyes beheld an eerie.
Happy Halloween!
Slab began to rise.
Happy Halloween.
To my surprise,
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween from Baran's Temple Karate.
Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween!
Trick or treat! I'm the Easter Bunny.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Easter egg! Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween!
Happy MMA, this is bone soup for you. Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! Everybody! Happy Halloween! I got the pumpkin!
Happy Halloween from the staff and board members of WPAA. And Freeman Penny. Come on down and visit us anytime. We're here for you. Hi, Andy. I'm on TV just for you.
Me too.
Happy Halloween!
The tap is flowing with some fresh Joe Ryman Tyman.
We're having some technical difficulties right now.
Are we really? Are you serious about that?
Look at that.
What's the problem?
Look at it. Look at the screen.
I don't see any problems.
Yeah, you do.
Really?
Well, look at the screen again. Look at.
I'm not gonna do it.
What I am gonna do? Right here. You can see all this stuff.
You can see it. You can see it all. But hey, you know what we have up next? Lucy Lawless was arrested, and that is Xena Warrior Protester. Oh no, we're deeper into the depths of the Tyman sphere. Here we go, we're in the corridors now. Gravity is gonna totally lose its place. Listen up. It turns out that Lucy Lawless is against oil because she was arrested on an oil rig out in New Zealand where she apparently resides.
What was she doing?
She was, protesting. She was trespassing, and now she's gonna be serving hard time. But it's awfully convenient to be a protester when you're guaranteed to get employed after having that on your record, and you could easily pay for the fees.
That is true.
And it takes away that martyr symbolism.
Lucy Lawless hater.
I don't hate Lucy Lawless. Although she did just lose her program Spartacus, which was known more for its TNA than its action and adventure.
Spartacus is a great show. We got 3 seasons.
Free Lucy Lawless.
Nope.
With her hard time. Diggity.
And I just got another message on the Wallingford text hotline, and it turns out that you are wrong. The show is fine. The image is beautiful.
Who's that from?
That is actually from Vinny Gognitti himself.
Tell Vinny Gognitti to get his rear end in studio instead of texting.
Get on the bus that takes you to us. The magic bus. So
I don't mean to cause no fuss.
Oh, you sure don't. You cause a fuss for me often, though.
Well, Warrior Princess Xena herself caused the fuss.
She did. What do we got up next? We've told you about that old hen.
The old hen Xena.
She was shipped off to the chopping block.
Space jamming with Ridley Scott.
Mr. Tyman, Will Krutsky, and I went to see Prometheus this week, the new Ridley Scott film. We give it triple clapping because we liked it very much.
Yes. Yes, we did.
How do you feel about the final reveal after 30-some-odd years of the space jockey?
I didn't necessarily like the fact that they're like, you think this is what they look like? Nah, this is what they actually look like. But other than that, I kind of liked it.
Well,
I really liked it other than that.
You wish that what turned out to be their spacesuit was actually their physical form.
It just seemed like it was kind of a cheap out by Ridley Scott in order to be able to, like...
Although what wasn't cheap was that he hired the European surrealist H.R. Geiger to reverse engineer things from the original film and to work on conceptual art for the ship and the space jockey.
Well, the ship was great because the ship actually looked like the ship from Alien.
Yeah, the exterior, the interior set as well. Also, it turns out that Ridley Scott used a lot of models and practical effects because he said it was cheaper than CG.
He used a lot of CG in that movie, though.
No, there was an awful lot of CG, especially in the space scenes, but that replaced the matte paintings. However, there was a lot of set work. There was a lot of animatronics with the creatures. And
a lot of flamethrowers. If you're a fan of weapons that don't make any sense at all, you'll like this movie.
That's true.
It's like, oh man, we can't shoot this guy. We just have to burn him until he dies.
The basic premise of a sci-fi or horror movie is that people need to make awful mistakes, otherwise the plot won't be advanced to that gruesome climax. You know,
it's like burn him, burn him.
Every Alien movie, I think, features a flamethrower at some point or an incendiary device.
It does, but it doesn't make it a good weapon.
No.
Like, it's just crazy. But what do you think about? How did this make you feel about the Alien universe? Like, what now do you think of it that you didn't think of it before? Like, what's some what is something you realized watching this movie that you didn't know beforehand?
I just dropped my portable device. But what I did realize that might not have been evident is that I could hear the studio audience. Please stop talking. Stop talking. Anyway, just go outside.
Yeah, but
what I did realize though was that the xenomorphs appear to have been genetically engineered.
Or at least that they're like, hey, we got these guys. They do these things.
Yeah, I mean, what was great is that Ridley Scott decided, after 30 years of unanswered questions, to simply leave some more unanswered questions after this film.
Let's go for 60 years of unanswered questions. Let's see how that goes.
Let's just keep dragging it out, dragging it down the halls.
But it does set up a good sequel opportunity for James Cameron to do.
James Cameron jokingly said that he was going to pick up the series much like he did with the original, but I think that was just a joke, and he's probably going to focus his efforts on the Avatar saga that's sure to be coming.
I don't know why it hasn't came anything forward yet.
James Cameron was going to be executive producing At the Mountains of Madness, a H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, but Del Toro, Guillermo Del Toro, director of Hellboy, said that Prometheus actually hurt its chances because it dealt with body horror and...
so there can only be one body horror movie?
Well, I think he said we need to give it a rest before the movie comes out because it deals with similar themes of, horror and the origins of mankind and ancient aliens.
The thing about horror movies in general, or movies in general, like when something's successful, they do a lot of it. Like when superhero movies are successful, they just like do a lot of superhero movies.
Yeah, a couple of years ago there were 2 mall cop movies, Paul Blart and Observe and Report. One of which was a very dark comedy, the other was a very silly comedy.
Yes, Paul Blart was the dark one, by the way.
Paul Blart was extremely dark. The guy had a definite eating disorder.
He loves the Chick-fil-A.
It's delicious.
But I think few people I've talked to said this is the type of movie sci-fi. I don't mean like Star Wars or even Star Trek type of sci-fi. Like this more grandiose type of sci-fi where it's like big open images and this really sciencey background and like.
The original purpose of Alien was to give us. Actually, it was pitched as Jaws in space. It was the horror of Jaws with the artistry of 2001. And I think this was a good visit back to that style.
This movie isn't a scary movie, though.
It's not a scary movie, but it's just as violent and
it's pretty violent.
Has just as much horror implication as Alien.
Well, the horror.
It wasn't a jump scare kind of movie.
The horror. A lot of the horror was just not knowing what was going on. Like there's a sense where you're not fully grasping what is about to happen. And
as always with the Wayland Corporation, you don't know who to trust.
Yes. But, by the way, there's a TED Talk of the Wayland Corporation. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there is a various viral videos associated with Prometheus, which is something people have been doing like gangbusters since Cloverfield came out.
You know what? Actually, the original X-Men, there was a bunch of viral stuff. There was a website for the guy who was Senator Kelly, and said like no more mutants or something like that. So actually, there was viral stuff even back then.
Well, I'm not saying that Cloverfield was the first one to do it. I just have noticed it a lot more since then.
And there was the Halo I Love Bees viral campaign that was.
Halo loves bees.
I love bees. Bees.
Bees?
Bees. Like. Bzzz.
Like who's getting all the honey?
Pooh Bear.
Fantastic. What's that have to do with Halo?
But I'm saying I Love Bees was the viral campaign Halo used to advertise.
Cool. I'm gonna look into that. You're gonna slam your cup down.
Slam it down.
So moving forward, we gave various thumbs up, all kinds of thumbs up for Prometheus.
Go see it.
Go see it. Check it out.
3 movies to see this summer if you haven't seen them: Avengers,
Prometheus,
and Men in Black.
And I haven't seen it yet, but I am on the edge of my seat to go see Moonrise Kingdom, which might be a little too hipster for you, Mr. Tyman.
Probably a little bit.
Calling it 203-265-6310.
I love the hipster culture and their beer. I do not necessarily like their movies or music.
All right, you can call in about the merits of hipster culture or what movies you're excited about. Call in this number. It's the old 203-265-6310.
Call in if you're breathing.
Call in if you have anything to say. All right, what do we got next?
Bush
of Thrones? Winter is coming for George W. Bush, or at least it was before the producers found out.
So yes, thank you.
Back to that topic. Who do we got?
You're on live on Tyman On Tap. I'm Joe, and he is
Harold Bigsby.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Andrew.
Hey,
Andrew S.
Andrew.
Hey, what's up?
Calling in just in time for a George W. Bush on Game of Thrones cameo discussion.
Yeah, very, very odd news coming out of I believe a DVD commentary was where the news was leaked, right?
Yeah, that's where they spotted him.
And did you actually see the image? It really looks like Bush with long hair.
I guess the thing I read, or who knows if this is true, but they needed to get masks to build these prosthetic heads, so they bought like a bunch of George W. Bush. I guess someone was having a liquidation on GWB masks,
So
and
you don't think that the person sent to buy that was thinking this is going to be a great subtle joke?
I'm sure it was like an Easter egg. You know, everyone loves Easter eggs, so they just thought like they did it, and now they're not. You can't
imply the assassination of the president of the United States, no matter which one you're dealing with. I don't think.
Yeah, and you can't imply that it's just really bad. Like you can't have the severed head of a president of an ex-president. You can't have that on a movie set.
HBO certainly thought it was in poor taste once they became aware of it.
Yeah, they're gonna cut. What are they gonna do now? They're gonna cut it out.
All future production of the DVD is not going to have that image.
Oh wow! I mean, yeah, that's going to cost them money. So I mean, if they're willing to spend money, that's how you can tell how badly a corporation is embarrassed by something. If they spend money to fix the problem. So
well, who knows if Karl Rove will be hired to take them down? So they might as well get on it quick.
Just a hatchet job on Game of Thrones writers.
That's right.
So what's going on, guys?
Nothing. So what do you think about the new next generation MacBook?
I think it's pretty cool. It looks amazing. I can't believe it's that thin. They cut a lot. I mean, there's no Ethernet, there's no Thunderbolt, there's no FireWire. So they cut the input, which I guess for now though, that doesn't really matter because the people who are buying these are not the creative types like in the past, like 10, 15 years ago. These are just consumers who want.
Going to be these sinister consumer goons.
Yeah, just these guys who have the money to buy it and just want to show it off.
It's an amazingly powerful computer. Like, did you see the stats? It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabyte solid state drive. Like, these are insane stats for a laptop.
But Joe, are those options or are those standard?
No, that's the $2,000 and something MacBook.
Okay, I mean, it's amazing, but it's it's just very expensive. I mean, I won't be able to afford one for a while, but. It's pretty cool. I mean, they're just definitely keep pushing the limits, and everyone seemed to be very excited by Tim Cook's, his presentation. I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but everyone does seem to be pretty excited by the direction he's taking the company in. So,
what do you feel about the limited in terms of desktop market, the limited update to the Mac Pro, and the potential that next year they're gonna relaunch all their desktop lines.
Well, yeah, that's what I read. I read that they gave a small bump to the Mac Pro, and then that this will be fixed. I heard either this year, at the end of this year, or by January they'll have a whole new. I mean, I guess they had to just throw the Mac Pro a bone. And I mean, I read somewhere that there's like a Facebook page petition to have like them update the Mac Pro, and only 86 people up until the time of the developers conference signed it. So maybe they're just really not a.
Well, it's probably climbing up into the thousands by now.
Yeah. Now that they saw it, that nothing really happened. So
do you have any exciting news to break to us that we might have missed? Maybe pop culture or tech.
Well, I don't know if you guys brought this up, but they've now slammed the door on the Iron Patriot rumors.
No, we did not bring this up. I heard about this. So he's not in it, I guess? Is this War Machine?
So what was the image that people saw?
It was War Machine repainted, and I've seen the pictures again now, and you do see the gun, like the over-the-shoulder gun, that's presented the War Machine style, and I guess they're saying now that to bolster the public image of War Machine and the military.
They're making more patriotic Don Cheadle.
Yeah, we
was
do.
it a white dude, the one wearing a suit though? That's my question. Like,
no, I mean I didn't see. The only set pictures I saw was of the actual armor. I didn't see anyone wearing it.
Andrew S. doesn't see color, Joe.
Yeah, I
saw a picture.
And also, too, that could be a stunt person, Joe. It might be like a stunt person who's wearing it, not the actual.
I thought the actors actually wear their suits in that movie.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they wear the full suit. I mean, I assume they would wear the helmet, but then they would just, record the actor in the helmet, and then they would build the suit around them, or have just like a close-up shot. I can't imagine that they'd have to have every scene that they have, in their suits, that they would have to film them in their suits, right?
I don't know. I think it's more than you think that they actually are in their suits.
I don't know.
I think they really immerse themselves in the experience. If the character's wearing the suit, they're going to wear that suit.
They're going to wear the suits. Method acting. They're going to be.
I mean, Downey Jr. is known for method acting.
Yeah, and he actually put shards in his chest, digging through his heart.
Don Cheadle was on the Golden Girls spinoff, The Golden Palace, which was a very professional program.
I missed that one.
No, there's one thing you know is TV, so by you missing it, it must not have been important at all.
You didn't even know Seinfeld, so the Golden Palace is definitely way below the Andrew S. radar.
Terrence Howard for the win.
Iron Man 1 fans out there, mainly the producer.
So, Joe, did you want to talk about the Sandusky
trial?
trial?
This is Andrew actually is a Sandusky trial expert.
How do you like his new defense, Mr. S?
Honestly, it's amazing to me because it just gets worse every day for him.
He's dragging himself through the mud at this point.
He just, listen, when you are forced to play an interview you did on TV after the charges were brought up, and that ends up hurting your case, like an interview that you give when you have
now
time.
saying that he had a personality disorder. This is the Pennsylvania football coach that abused young children, allegedly. His personality disorder is what's causing all this terrible behavior.
It's bizarre. And then you had one victim who testified that he, again, allegedly, was accosted in or abused in a silver convertible. And then Sandusky's lawyer had to go, no one's ever seen him in a silver convertible. He's never owned a silver convertible.
The glove didn't fit all over again.
I know, exactly. But, I mean, there's enough going on. I mean, the fact that they allowed that hearsay evidence of the janitor who now is mentally unfit to testify in court, the fact that they allowed that, and that was a really big deal. He's claimed that he saw back around the same time as McCreary, he claimed that he saw Sandusky pin a boy against the wall and lick him in the genital region. And the fact that was entered, and that that's going to be the jurors know this, and when the jurors go to deliberate, they'll be able to talk about that.
Let's talk about how bad the defense is doing. Like, they
don't really have a popular client.
Well, no, but they also, one guy testified in the grand jury. I don't remember what happened. Then all of a sudden he had a testimony that he's like, this is specifically what happened. How did the defense not cross-examine and say, why did you forget about it in the grand jury? Why did you not bring it? Why are you waiting to now to bring this up?
Well, Joe, I think that, to be honest with you, I think the defense has a difficult. They have a difficult client. I'm sure he's just acted so like arrogant and flabbergasted about this. And
he has such a great winning record. People shouldn't care what he does in his private life.
Exactly.
In the locker room,
he was heir to Joe Pa. I mean, why should he have to go to a courtroom and talk about this and look at all the work he did and the second mile and all that? I think that he probably just looks at this like this will all blow over. This is
quite frankly, look at how many high-placed people look the other way.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's the other thing that really is shocking, is that through the testimony of a lot of people, especially McCreary, Penn State officials look really bad. Now, nothing's going to happen with Paterno because Paterno's dead, so there's nothing.
That is the best thing to happen to Paterno's legacy is him dying.
Yeah, he's in trouble. But the other people at Penn State, they like the AD, the athletic director and all this, they don't come out looking good. I mean, McCreary doesn't even look good. I mean, because he just
I've even heard rumors that it was almost a well-known joke in the student community.
I mean, all that stuff that comes out it just hurts.
Once the jury hears it, I mean, no matter whether or not it's admissible, they know it. So.
Yeah, exactly.
It affects the outcome of the case.
Yeah, and I mean, and Sandusky's lawyers did try to have the trial moved, and they wouldn't allow it. They said no, this is where it belongs. So, I mean, he's in trouble. I mean, I think the guy walked into the courtroom with his defense attorneys and said, "Don't worry about this. It's going to take care of it."
He might have painted too rosy a picture.
The thing is,
yeah, exactly. He painted too rosy a picture to his own lawyers, and now his lawyers are hearing this testimony, and they're like, "Oh my God, from now on, you have to tell us everything."
But you think the lawyers are highly paid professionals who are experts in their field would be like, okay, we know what we're doing, you don't. You just think that, like, even with Jordan Zimmerman...
You think they would have coached him better?
Even with Jordan Zimmerman, his attorney's like, we don't know what he's doing something wrong. Like, you think at some point they'd be like, this is what you should not do this is wrong, stop doing this.
But, I mean, listen, you got a guy who is, for the last 30 years, he's been a god in the state of Pennsylvania. And so, he just goes about his business. He does. I mean, listen, he's been doing this for a long time. They think at least back since the 80s. So
he said he's a tortured soul or something along those lines.
I mean, maybe that side
something
of the angle...
that goes back to his childhood, and he'll try to play the deep-rooted pity card.
Right, as the testimony gets worse and worse, and I mean now it looks like the prosecution's going to rest on Monday. I think that you're going to see that. Like that's the angle they're going to go with. They're going to say, "Listen, this is not a monster."
Yeah, they're going to say he's just a victim like everybody else.
Right. This is a man who's been abused himself, and now he's on the other side of the coin, and he knows how these boys feel. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think people are going to buy that after all this.
I mean, I think it's just too much. All of the testimony, all of the accusers, the janitor as the hearsay evidence, and then McCreary, all saying everything that they've said. It's just going to add up to it's an avalanche, and it's just getting bigger every day, and it's going to steamroll them.
It's just a sloppy mess.
What do you think this does for Bill O'Brien and the Penn State football program going forward? How are they going to get players to come play for them?
I don't think this will affect them. I mean, their winning and loss record this year will affect them more than the Jerry Sandusky trial outcome. If they do well this year, they'll get recruits. If they don't, they won't. I mean, the biggest thing to me, the biggest hindrance to Penn State this year as a football team is that all the ex-players don't like the new coach, and they've come out and they've said this guy's not one of us, and that's going to hurt more than the Sandusky trial. I mean, these are 16, 17-year-old kids. They don't watch the news, or they don't. I don't know if they really care about this trial, and they're just going to look for a place to play football. And Penn State, is a huge school, a huge tradition, and a huge program. But again, like I said, the winning and loss record of this year and the next year will decide.
There was a murder in Yale 1 or 2 years ago, and that didn't hurt Yale. So.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Auburn. I mean, Auburn, the shooting that happened in Auburn, that shooting, that will probably hurt more. But just because parents of kids will say, like, that down there might not be safe for a football player. So, I mean, that won't even affect it.
Have a storied enough reputation that they can move past any crisis.
Yeah, exactly. A shooting where kids on the program are involved, or former kids of the program are involved, that's not even going to affect it. Listen, these schools, the big enough schools, they have enough power and clout and whatever to just keep moving forward. And kids want to play for a winner. They want to play for a team that will be able to be on Saturdays on ABC and ESPN and get them a shot at the draft at the NFL. So as long as you present a winner, you'll get kids to play with you.
Once again, great wisdom on the tap from our favorite listener, Andrew
Oh,
S.
thanks. Well, guys, you guys are doing a great job, and
Have you actually been watching live today?
so today I have been. I started at 8:15, and then my roommate got home, so I had to deal with that for a little bit, and then
Well,
I
I
called
hope
in.
the bits you saw were a wonderful roller coaster.
Well, you guys, like I said, you guys do a great job. Joe, keep posting them on YouTube, and stop posting that other stuff, because I don't buy your last week's answer in reference to why you post those videos, Joe.
Well, I'll post more of those videos. There's more where they came from.
Joe, are you running the underground rap scene in Hartford?
I am the underground rap scene in Hartford.
Joe is the MC. Watch out.
Very nice. Well, good luck, guys. I look forward to this video being posted on YouTube.
Safe travels, Mr. S.
Thank you, guys. Have a good week.
You too. All right, we're kind of running up against the break now.
One
Reggie,
of our favorite experiences of all time. PSA.
What gets you moving?
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
You fuel your body.
and your mind, get up and play an hour a day, Doc. Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov. That's www.letsmove.gov.
School may be out for summer, but lunch is always in session. If your kids rely on subsidized school meals, visit feedingamerica.org/summer meals to learn more.
How's she doing? 2,
She was a passenger. Car was T-boned on the passenger side.
We just had some wine. I wasn't even drunk. I was just buzzed.
What? You were just buzzed. Well, sir, you didn't tell us that. In that case, she's just fine.
Yeah. Sounds fine.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me.
Feed the pig.
Get your pig fed, because we are now deeper into another level of the tap, because the further you go, the harder it is to escape. Joe Tyman.
how we doing, folks? So what do we got for topics here?
You know something? I am just scratching my belly in anticipation.
By the way, if you're in Wallingford...
Oh, we were talking about this prior to Andrew S.'s calling.
But
Bush of Thrones.
I think we kind of addressed it. That it's,
Yeah, you know, we did talk about it, now that I think a moment about it.
He was like the ones like, you just can't have it. You just can't have it.
Well,
Dream working for a change.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what Obama's got mixed up with DreamWorks over?
So, in the ever-failing Obama re-election campaign...
Ooh, harsh words from Tyman. This isn't open mic.
Down with the timing. Up with Obama.
Oh, no.
Obama for the win.
The Tyman production is not going to have an official position on the election. However, they have the Obama administration has made some flubs. A couple of flibby flubs.
The new thing is website Romney Economics has been put together by, of all people, DreamWorks.
DreamWorks? Wait, did you say Romney Economics?
The website, Romney Economics.
Oh, it's
a
to show his wonderful experiences.
Yeah,
in the private
criticizes
sector.
Bain Capital. And for some reason, Obama's campaign director is like, went to Steven Spielberg for some ideas. And he's like, listen, use DreamWorks. We'll do it for
you
you.
need a lot of reflections from people's glasses. You need close-up shots of people's faces when there's explosions in the background.
So it's
That's
actually
what
a whole political news, like a whole thing that's misinforming people. That's all based on the decisions of DreamWorks.
DreamWorks, my goodness, they are causing a ruckus.
It's just interesting. It's like, what political person would be like, you know what? This company makes good movies. Let's have them do some political campaigning for us.
You figure the highest quality advertising or what have you would come from a movie production company?
This is also very interesting since Obama did not side with the motion picture industry over Pippa and Sopa and
Yeah,
Topa and
that is
Ropa,
curious.
Dopa.
Dopa?
Dopa.
There were some dopey choices. But you know, I think that Obama has also benefited from Hollywood. George Clooney raised a record amount of millions for him.
Yes, it's...
So Hollywood hasn't totally hurt the campaign.
Obama has shown that he can very well fundraise with a lot of celebrities.
Obama is a lot of fun.
But it's just funny, he's criticizing Bain using a movie studio after the former, and arguably one of the most successful Democratic presidents since Harry Truman.
Are we talking W.J. Clinton?
Yes. It was like, his business performance is sterling. And then Steve Spielberg was like, no.
Spielberg is a lot like Emperor Palpatine, I see.
In this one he is.
In this case. That is for sure. So if you were going to make the ideal Obama ad, what would it be?
Be like some dude?
Some dude, not Obama? Just some random dude?
No, some like...
Opening shot, some dude, okay. I picture a man in his mid to late 20s, long hair.
No. Maybe some farmer or...
Some farmer, okay.
Or some laborer or...
How about a farmer lost in a factory talking about Obama?
That would work.
That would work.
See, he needs ads that actually relate to everyday people, not...
And let's fit as many everyday people into one person as possible.
Yes.
And maybe he'll have a tie. He'll sneakily represent the business community.
Yeah, well,
who are probably going to vote for Romney anyway.
But yes, that's probably true. Or you can have an old car plant in Detroit.
An old bristling car plant.
You know, just something like that. You know, just
maybe something with shadow puppets.
But this is silly.
Hey, we got a call.
Hello.
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 Hey, welcome to Tyman On Tap.
Hey.
Who do we got here?
My name is Sam.
How you doing, Sam? Are you a local Wallingford community member?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I've seen this show a couple of times now.
Couple of 2 or 3?
A couple of times, yeah. You guys are pretty funny.
Oh, that's wonderful, Sam.
I gotta say, I got a heck of a time trying to figure out what you two are talking about.
Yeah, we have a couple of wacky topics that come up, usually in the tech or entertainment category.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you guys are doing, it's good. It's good stuff.
It's a hoot.
You know, sometimes you guys start off on a thing and you go one way and then you go the other, and
we're
I
just
don't know what's
flipping and
going on.
skipping through the show, aren't we? So what do you have to say about Mr. Obama? Are you supporting his recent advertisements?
Don't get me started.
Oh.
Yes.
Don't get me started.
I don't want to...
It's a road we should not drive down.
The road less traveled, politics and religion.
But, all right, well, thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Sam.
So you want us to stay more on topic, or what do you think? Do you like the firing from every directions, or would you prefer...
You want us more on task?
You know, like I said before, you guys keep doing what you're doing. You seem to know what you're doing, and you're doing it good.
We are professionals over here, Sam. We'll
Don't
talk
worry
to you
now.
later.
Thank you so much.
Shh, don't
You
talk.
take it easy.
Bye, buddy. So that was another local Wallingford Yahoo, or as I like to call them, fans.
Fans. We got breaking news. What is the breaking news?
Car accident on Center Street.
There has been a car accident on Center Street. You might
He
want
hit
to
a man
avoid-
and fled.
No, the car came out of Meadow Street the wrong way, hit a car head on, then
Come on here.
Here, we have breaking news from Jared from the staff.
Breaking news. There was a car accident down here on Center Street by the Lenny's where a car coming out of Meadow Street the wrong way hit another car on Center Street head on, then tried to flee, and then from what I was told, his friend got the guy back, and then he tried to flee again. But
Double flight.
But basically, Center Street's a little bit of a mess right now.
Avoid the center of Wallingford if you're out there on the road watching us on the web somehow. Or if you're about to leave your house after
Don't
the
go to
program.
Center Street.
Don't go near Center
This
Street.
is Jared from WPAA signing out.
See you, Jared.
I would say avoid Wallingford at all costs in general.
Listen, Will Gretzky talking smack again, but we love Wallingford. We've had great calls from the community, and we've had great breaking news about it.
All right.
Yes.
Next topic.
Here we
Henry
go.
Hill died.
Henry Hill, and in case you don't know who that is, it's not some guy Ray Liotta played, although it is. It's a real-life mobster who was involved in the Lufthansa heist in the 1970s. At the time, the biggest heist in history. And he is the basis for the film Goodfellas.
And here's a picture.
Here, Jared, who just delivered that late-breaking story about Wallingford, is here pictured with Henry Hill. Once again,
Who took this picture?
I'd just like to give a shout out to my friend over at Creative Time Photography for this photo.
It's a wonderful photo and a sad passing of a man who I believe was about 69 years old. He also owned a restaurant in West Haven called Wise Guys. So a bit of a local legend as well.
Why did he pass away?
He had a
undisclosed illness.
Yeah, but I believe he had a heart attack or a stroke or something in May, and his wife or longtime girlfriend said that he hadn't really pepped it up since then.
That is very sad.
A good fella gone.
So what do we got? What's our last topic for the night, producers?
What do we got on the tap? Who shot JR?
Who cares?
I shot JR.
It looks like they've revitalized the 1978 to 1991 program Dallas.
Yes, they revitalized it, and it is horrible.
It's tanked. It's much like the Beverly Hills 90210 reboot, where they got a couple of fresh, pleasant faces, cute young kids, and they brought back a few.
90210 reboot is still growing strong.
I didn't say it's off.
Melrose Place.
All right.
All right. Yeah, okay. Melrose Place tanked. But listen, they got a couple of fresh faces, they got a couple old cast members, and it's just not captured the magic of the story of the Texas oil tycoon family.
Well, I mean, we're living in very different times.
Yeah, this isn't the 1980s anymore. People are not responding to those
and
values.
The whole people don't like the oil industry. They're just like, what is this?
You're not supposed to like it in the show. In fact, the protagonist is someone that's fighting for clean energy, and the villain is an old oil tycoon. So
who's the villain in the new show?
Yeah,
who's even an older oil tycoon?
He's in his 80s.
Yeah.
JR was the classic villain.
And he was shot, and he came back.
He was shot. But listen, apparently you don't want to watch this program. It's not good. The original one, check it out on TV Land or wherever it may be.
Netflix?
Netflix, right on. Anything else, Joe?
I don't know. What
Space updates. Oh, we do have some late-breaking space stories. I'm going to lean into you nice and snuggle.
Oh.
But let me bust out my notes. They launched, and they being NASA, launched a space rover called Curiosity to Mars. I believe it's going to touch down in August. And the purpose is to explore the Gale crater, which is a 3 billion-year-old crater that was created by a meteorite. It has about 3 miles of sediment, including some clay. And what's interesting about this is it goes further to prove when there was water on the planet, because it's now evident that there was once a great deal of water, which the sediment would not be possible without. So we're getting further into the history of Mars's makeup. Also, very exciting, NASA has also launched NuSTAR, which is a X-ray telescope which is sent out to explore black holes, because with X-ray technology you can actually learn a lot more about black holes.
Thank you, Carl Sagan.
Thanks for calling me a great hero of science. Also, they are going to be using this NuSTAR device to look at ancient supernovas, the remains of supernovas.
Champagne supernovas in the sky?
Oh, my goodness. Where were you when we were getting high, as Oasis said?
Oasis. Best British band since the Beatles.
According to them, and who's going to dispute it?
Yeah.
Those guys are wonderful.
Yeah.
So, that's all we have to say about space.
There was a few British bands that are like, man, Queen, not so great. Beatles, amazing.
Queen is oftentimes one of the top 2 most popular British bands in polls.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of times the top band in a lot of polls.
That's true.
All right, so I think we're going to wrap up soon.
Because it's time for you in 1 minute to wake up from this deep nightmare called Tyman On Tap and move on to other programming. It's been great. I've had a lot of laughs. I know the Wallingford community called in with some great...
2 times.
Twice. A certain gentleman named Adam. And
Wallingford's native son, Adam.
And one of our greatest admirers, apparently, Sam. Seemed like an elderly gentleman.
Oh, yeah, and I wouldn't say elderly, maybe, but I mean, a gentleman.
Just a little scruff McGruff kind of guy.
You know what? That's the type of viewers we need.
We need the gruffest and the grittiest viewers. Make sure you call in next time, 203-265-6310. And
all right, and good night, everybody.
Rah!